Okay, so off screen, I finished the texturing. Let me just show you what I did. I added some patterns on the leather, like some patterns on multiple materials. I added this little coffee symbol here. I also added an emissive map for the screen and generally just went over the whole model, added more dirt, added more scratches, as you can see, dirt and scratches. And that's basically, so I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. So now that all of this is done, we can export those guys. To export them, we want to choose metal and rough. And for the size, we want to export the body in 4K and the hair in 2K. And we just want to, just want to export it to my local folder and click export. As you can see, on the body, we have an emissive map as well now, which I enabled in here. And the only thing in this emissive map is this guy. So we can have an emissive on the display in the renderer. Okay, so that's how my texture look. The other thing that I finished off screen was my rig. As I said, just rotated everything into place, used the rigging here, and then just move those guys into place by hand. Now that this is done, I wanna assign different shaders. So as we had as we did before for substance, we have at least 2 different shaders with the hair and the body. But now I want to do a third one for all the skin, so a third one for the face itself and the arms. And the reason for that is that we can add a different material onto those regions inside Marmoset. So let's open Marmoset now. Let's import the model. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's import the model. Now, as you can see, it imported multiple different materials, but as you can see, those are the 3 that we need. Okay, so we can basically get rid of all of those materials here, create a new one, call this one, let's start with the body, for example, move it onto the body and start plugging in the texture. So let's just click on this one. Now we need the body normal. Exactly. Let's also change the skylight so it's better visible. Let's just go for this desert road. And as we can see, the normal body looks different or wrong a bit. And we can fix this by flipping the white channel on this one. As you can see, way better now. Okay, so we have the normal, we have a roughness, we have a albedo, might take a while, yes. We have a albedo, which is the base color. We have a metalness. And all the way down, we can enable the emissive as well. So we have an emissive now. Okay, so that's basically our first shader. Now we can duplicate this one, call it skin. Nope. And we can apply this to our skin. And the only thing we want to change in here is, let's make this a bit bigger. We want to change the diffusion from Lambertiation to subsurface scatter. And as you can see, if we get a little closer here on the face, when we change the depth of the subsurface, you can see it. Yeah, it just fakes the subsurface scatter. So let's fake the subsurface scatter here a bit. Something like this. That's great. Okay. Now let's do one more duplicate and let's call this one hair. Let's apply our hair textures. It's the wrong one. Hair roughness. Hair base. Hair with, wrong one. Hair metallic. And no emissive. And let's just put this one on. Did I choose the wrong hair base color? Hair roughness. Metallic. looks like our color looks a bit off, so let's check the settings. Yeah, it disabled sRBG, so we're gonna enable it again. And now the hair look fine. Okay, so all the shaders are set up already. So this is working out great. Now let's talk about the basic light setup that we can render. First, I would add a shadow catcher on the ground. Then let's add some lights. So you can either go to add object lights, or you just go into the sky and click somewhere, like here, for example, and it will automatically create a directional light exactly here. So we can take the directional light, move it out of the sky, so it's independent now. And I always like to change it from direction to spot. Move it out here somewhere exactly. So we want to have one, I would say one light, one main light that just illuminates the whole thing from the front. Let's just make it distance taller, exactly like this. The color, I would say, let's go into some yellowish tone. Exactly. Exactly. The brightness, yeah, we want to pump that up as well, I guess. Let's say 2.7 or something. Oh, 2.7. So we have a nice light here. Now we can see the shadow catcher is already creating our shadow. So we can just lower this a bit, 0.5 maybe or something, so it's not as harsh. Okay, looks great. Now the next light I want to have is I want to have one from the back and one from the side. So I have this free light setup with like a rim light and a filler light from the right. So let's just duplicate that one, or yeah, either duplicate it or click in the sun and sky system again. So we want to have one light somewhere here, I guess. We want to have it in blue this time. You can choose any color you want. I just yeah, just like to go with something bluish. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. Now this is, as you can see, it's too strong. So we're just gonna tone it down. And we wanna change the distance as well because I don't want it to show up on the floor. Yeah, something like this. Also the angle. Okay. Okay, cool. And now we wanna add one more other light from the side. Let's do this one in yellow again. Exactly. We should go a bit lower. Go like this. Maybe same for that guy, a bit lower and upwards. But yeah, you can change this like at any time. It's just what I normally do. So we have this free light setup. And now what I want to do is put some cameras in there. So normally I just choose a frame that looks roughly how I want the render to look, like this. Then I go to edit scene, add material, add object camera, because it creates the camera one in this example exactly the same position. And now we just want to change the camera itself. So let's enable the save frame first so we see what our actual render would look like. Then let's change the focal length to 50, so it's a more of a portrait camera, like more of a yeah, more of an orthographic camera. Now let's try to position this camera roughly where it would look cool. Okay, we can always jump out to the other camera if we want to change stuff, because I feel like this could be a little closer maybe. Let's see. Okay. Then there are settings in the camera that we can actually change now. So not just the focal length, but we can also do some post-processing now. For example, we can sharpen the whole frame a bit. We can bloom the whole frame a bit. We can, yeah, grain is already on there. So we can already do some stuff. Let's maybe increase this brightness as well a bit. Also that one back a bit. And let's again check the front one. This maybe. So yeah, you can change all of those things on the fly. Another thing that we can do now before we press render is we're gonna add a turntable and we're gonna move our asset in there. This allows us to do is just rotate the whole mesh. And we wanna position the camera so when because I guess at the end we wanna do some turnarounds, we wanna position the camera in a way that it doesn't cut the sky too much. So let's just move it a bit down here. So on our turntable, he's always on there like this, yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. So the last thing that we want to do before we press on the render button is change the renderer. So we want, for example, local reflections, of course. The shadows are already on high, which is good. We want to enable the GI. Now let's take a look at the voxel grid itself because we don't want to use the voxels for things we don't need because yeah, that's our scene. We don't need to be super big. We want it to be just in the scene. So we're going to change the size. And with the brightness, we can say how much the GI brightens up. So let's do this a bit. And yeah, that's about it. We can use ambient occlusion as well. Let's use this one as well. Let's pump up those numbers. Maybe still turn this a bit brighter. Okay, cool. But that's the basics. And now we basically just wanna, yeah, press the render button. Do some different shots from different rotations. And yeah, that's it. That's how we get all our renders. Okay, and that's about it with the whole tutorial. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something. If so, it would be great if you could comment or rate it. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to just drop me a line on ArtStation.